It was a gritty win, and we still ended up winning by a pretty good margin. And I just heard that we rushed for about 350 yards, and that's absolutely outstanding. Excuse me, by the O line and our running backs, Shuford and Mark Mays. Even David Ney contributed as well, the true freshman. But I think that just contributes to really working hard in practice. Our O line did a great job, and really proud of everybody today.
And, you start out the game with that interception. What did you see on the play? Just kind of talk about what happened.
They went cover. It looked like cover two. The corner was my read. He jumped up, and I thought I had a good hole behind him, and he ended up baiting me. Really, he made a great play on me, and it was unfortunate.
Well, but the offense, moved the ball consistently. I mean, doesn't seem like the group gets down even after mistakes. I mean, you had a second interception, but still, you guys respond pretty well after making mistakes. You get that sense that have a pretty short memory as a group.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the key to anything that you do. It's not, always going to be peaches and cream, but I think it's really the way you respond to adversity, and really did some great things with that. And we know we have a high-power offense, so we really know that we can score if we need to, and that came out and was shown second half.
Well, with Mark Thrash down, you have to have a couple other guys step up. Andrew Dillon has been a guy that's really stepped up. Talk about your chemistry with him, and he's had touchdowns in 3 of the last 4 games. He seems to be kind of stepping up where Mark, where you guys miss him.
Andrew is a super athlete, and he's smart. He came here at first as a quarterback, so he really knows the game. Great size, great speed, and just great athletic ability. And really has a good knack for the game, good sense for the game. He did some great things for us, and he's making some big plays.
And what does this rivalry mean, this win? I mean, 3 straight for you guys in the X Bowl. Just talk about what that means, keeping that X here at SVSU.
It means everything. And like I told some other people, obviously for the alumni, for us, everyone, the X is very important. It's a rivalry, and everyone cares so much, but being undefeated in the conference is even more important this year, and I think that's keeping our dreams alive, really keeping ourselves in control of the league, and we're doing a great job.
Thanks, John.
All right.
Well, Scott, talk about that field goal. When you line up with 50-plus yards, anything going differently through your mind, or what's your preparation on a long one like that?
Preparation is the same as a point after. I just try to come up with a mentality that I'm going to come up with a nice, easy swing, and, just try to put it through the uprights as best as possible. And, my line and my snapper and my holder has been great all year. And honestly, I wouldn't have been able to kick that at all if it wasn't for them. So.
And did you get a sense right after you kicked it that it was good? I mean, do you have that feeling right after, or do you have to look and watch to see where it goes sometimes?
Sometimes I watch because some of them are, they barely make it. But that one came off my foot, and I looked up real quick, and I knew it was going through the second I hit it. So.
Well, beyond the field goals, I mean, the amount of touchbacks you had, they had a pretty good kicking game, and you limited that. Just talk about that. Leading up to, was that a focus leading up to tonight with their good return game?
Yeah, definitely. I try to put it out the back of the end zone as best as possible. Give my guys some rest, and if I can put it out the back of the end zone, the ball comes on the 25. That makes it a complete longer drive for the other team. So I try to help as best as possible. So.
And special teams has been a big asset for you guys in recent weeks. I mean, you guys seem to make big plays in the kicking game, field goals, but really consistent. Do you get a sense that gives you guys an edge when, you're executing everything else in the special teams as well to offense and defense?
Yeah, definitely. I think special teams is a big part of the game. Obviously, it's a little biased because I'm a kicker,
right.
But, obviously there's some big plays that can definitely turn around the outcome of the game. And, there's some games in our past that we had where special teams was huge. So, if we're perfect in the special teams, then, I feel like it contributes to a really good victory.
Perfect. Thanks, Scott. So, by far the best rushing game of the season for you guys. Talk about Mark. It looks healthy. You look good. I mean, congratulating each other seemed every other play after those big runs. Talk about what you guys saw out there tonight.
It was amazing. Our offensive line did great. They took it. That 45 yards we had last week, they really took offense to that. They took that as a punch in the mouth, as being as low as you can be. They really took offense to that. They practiced hard all week, and we got a real tight offensive line, a family base, and the love it spreads. And when you getting on the field and you see your brother fighting for you and hitting and pushing for you and helping you off the ground is just it's the feeling is it's unexplainable. It's unexplainable, and things are just coming together each week by week. It's coming together.
And you know, you guys are you have sometimes you can do the flashy plays, and you could throw the ball, but it didn't seem like you were going to let Jennings do much tonight. Did you get the sense once you were able to start rolling that this was going to be your guys, your and Mark's game to control?
We kind of felt that way coming into the game. After our first day of watching these guys on film, we kind of looked at each other and kind of grinned and said, "Hey, yeah, let's eat this game." And even with Mark, me and Mark relationship is getting very close. You know, oftentimes when you have two running backs that play the same position, it's a competition. You know, I got to be better than you. You got to be better than me. Everything, competing and lifting and running and every play. And it's to the point where we was taking pictures after the game. And, you know, it's like a brotherly love. And to see him have just as great as game, he could have had the same thing that I had, but he was just in on different plays. You know, and we're really growing to have a 1-2 punch like we have. I think it's something to be reckoned with.
We'll talk about that long touchdown run. What'd you kind of see? It kind of broke open there right after you got through that line.
Yeah. All grace and glory to God, man. He do tremendous things and open up doors and I kind of just try to play my part and play my role and do whatever I can.
And what does the Axe Bowl mean to you? You know, the big win, third straight for SVSU.
You would think it wouldn't mean much, but actually, man, the way that this SVSU school, not just the team, but the entire school, with my teachers and some of the administration, they really brought me in. They really brought me, especially coming from Grand Valley. On top of that, you know, how rare is that? They really brought me in, and they put their arms around me at a tough time in my life, and with the grace and glory of God, they just really treated me like a brother, brought me into their family, and to see my friends and my brothers really how happy they were holding an axe and taking pictures. It's really unexplainable. It's just it's a joyful time in my life, and it means a lot just to be on a part of a team that's a family, you know, a God-fearing family. And I think that being 5-0 in the conference, we got to get better to go get next week and head for 6.
All right, well, thanks. So tell me about that interception, the one at the goal line. What'd you see on that? How'd that play develop?
I just seen the slot receiver going up the seam, and we were in the cover 3. So I just left my number 1 receiver, so I was just trailing him. And I seen our safety, John Bryant, make a play, and he tipped the ball, and I just came down with it and tried to make a play.
So Bryant tipped the ball. It seemed to bounce around a couple of times. Did both of you guys, did you hit it before you grabbed it? What happened?
Oh, no.
It seemed like a hot potato down there at the goal line almost.
No, John, he went up for the ball. He had it, and somehow I just, you know, this was a tip ball and came down, and then I was right there, and I cradled it, grabbed it, and then took off running. So
well, we'll talk about taking off. I mean, you're at the goal line. I don't know if you knew exactly where you were, but did you kind of look up and think, I got to get out? Or did you feel like you were in the end zone? What did you kind of see on the run back? Because you went 50 yards up the field.
Yeah, I knew I was on the goal line, like right on the 1-yard line. So I knew I need to make a play. So our offense wasn't stuck and backed up in their territory. So I just wanted to make a play. So I'm glad I got out, and offense were able to get the ball back. So
you guys were down 21-10 at one point, and then you as a defense held them 8 straight possessions. You had 3 interceptions, 5 punts. Did you guys have a meeting? You guys make any changes? What was after they scored that touchdown to go up 21-10? Or what kind of went through you guys' head? What did you guys kind of talk about?
Just adjustments and just playing hard and just playing better. I feel like we start off a little slow. Maybe everybody's nerves was still running, but later on in the game, defense stepped up and we made some great stops and great plays, and I'm just proud of everybody. So, did
you get a sense that it started with the line? Because I mean, they started pushing back that run game, and that's where it sort of Northwood couldn't run the ball, and then they had some troubles.
Yeah, the line played great. They caused a lot of pressure, which gave us defensive backs chances to make plays on the ball. So I give a lot of credit to them. Linebackers played great as well. DBs, we just made some good plays, and it was a good win.
And turnovers have been fueling you guys. I mean, you've had two interceptions last week, 2 interceptions this week. Just talk about kind of being able to come up with those big plays at key times.
It was crucial, but that's the thing. You gotta when you gotta make plays, you gotta make them. So it's just me trying to bake the quarterbacks and play the ball, and just make sure I come up with the catch so I can stop their drives and stop their momentum. So.
Thanks a lot. We'll start out. I asked D'Angelo about this. Down 21-10, the defense then kind of flipped a switch or something happened. What did you see was the difference after that? Because it was a completely different defense.
Well, it was a different, defense in terms of momentum and making big plays. But you got to remember, defense got put out there on the first play of the game after throwing an interception. That's always a tough time to come into a game. And then the other thing was that Northwood was able to capitalize on a couple pass interference penalties that I thought hurt us and put us on our heels. So I thought we were on our heels a little bit with a little bit of, oh, my gosh, we didn't expect this. But once we settled in and realized that, it's a football game, it's going to be a long day, we just have to take a step back and play each play independently, I thought both sides of the ball and in the kicking game we really stepped it up.
And it started with the line. I mean, once their run game you shut it down, they struggled having to throw the ball. I mean, did you get a sense that you were getting clogging that line up pretty good after the first quarter?
I think early on we expected them to throw it more, and you can see on a couple of those big runs they had, our linebackers were taking steps back expecting the pass. And that was kind of going into the game, that was our expectations. But when they lined up with Glenn Winston and started running it on us, that's when we had to make that adjustment and make sure our linebackers were stepping up a little bit tighter and filling those gaps. And once we did that, that was, I thought, a really important thing for us because now we stopped the run, forced them to throw it, and put them in some tough situations.
Well, and talk about D'Angelo's interception at that goal line. That seemed to kind of be the pivotal play. I mean, that would have, kind of brought the momentum back a little to them. But he shuts it down, and then to even bring it back out 50 yards to give you guys good field position all around, kind of an important play.
Extremely important play. And now, that's 2 weeks in a row he's come up big near the goal line. And, if they score in that drive, now we're going to be in a shootout. But I think that that made a statement defensively for us that we were not going to accept anything and that we were going to make sure we were going to fight all day long. And we capitalized on that. We were able to score, get ourselves back in the game, and then taking the lead right before half was critical as well. And the big play with D'Angelo was after we had thrown that pick. We threw that interception. John just waited. He threw the ball a little late right before the half. And we were being aggressive. We wanted to go down and score. And he threw that. And D'Angelo being able to hold them out in that situation was really critical, not to give them any momentum at halftime.
Well, offensively, you guys are known for some flashy plays, but there was nothing flashy about how you stayed in control with the run game. 350 yards. John said that might have been the most he's ever seen you guys have in his time. Just talk about being able to just control the ball in all facets on the ground.
Absolutely. I thought, the offensive line did an outstanding job of really winning the line of scrimmage. I thought they were physical. They came off the ball. They moved their feet. They finished blocks. And then our backs did a great job of finding those seams. And the big difference between, I think, last week and this league is our backs were really decisive. And we talked about that all week long in practice, being more decisive, putting your foot in the ground and getting what you can get. And the holes opened up, and they were able to do that and make big plays. But I think the other thing that was important is the way we did it in the fourth quarter. We ran the ball well for the first three quarters, but we were able to put that game away in the fourth quarter by running it and controlling the clock and running the clock out.
Well, kicking game, obviously another big day, the 50-yard field goal, and limited their return game. We talked about that. They have a big threat. Just talk about the kicking game all around coming through for you guys.
Well, and Scott Stanford has had really 6 great weeks, and we've got to continue to do that. But, we had that fit. He made a long field goal in the Finley game, and we jumped off sides, and we ended up punting in that situation. But we've got a lot of confidence in him, and we've got a lot of confidence in our offense. So it's sometimes a tough decision whether to go for it on fourth down or kick the field goal. We felt tonight every single point was going to be important, and took advantage of Scott's ability to do that. And that was the other thing. I thought our ability to score in that second quarter and the third quarter with a little bit of wind in our back not just enabled us to make a couple of those field goals, but also enabled us to kick the ball out of the end zone every single time we kicked that way and limit their return yards.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to ask you about the 2 of the penalties, the personal foul and that pass breakup. What did the refs tell you? He kind of launched himself, but I didn't see. Did he hit him in the head, or what did they tell you? And what did you see on that play?
The first one was launching. Now, had he hit him in the head, he would have been ejected.
Okay.
But the fact that the hit wasn't above the shoulders, it was just called launching. And those are tough calls because your guys, Dave Toussaint's trying to make a play on the ball and dislodge the ball. And we talk about that, playing with great effort. If you got to leave your feet to knock a pass down, we want guys to do that, but make sure, it's not at the head level. So that was a tough one. I thought it was a good play by Dave. Obviously, the officials made the call for launching, and I can't argue the launching call, but I will tell you that I thought it was a great effort play by Dave to try to jar that ball loose and get the ball back for the offense. the play at the goal line.
Schwartz,
Yeah, Will Schwartz. It was a tough play. I don't know what else to tell a kid in that situation. They said he body slammed him, and he
That's what
shouldn't
the call
have.
was.
Yeah. They say body slammed, and he shouldn't have. You're just trying to get that guy down. And you saw a couple times he escaped pressure and made a play.
Right.
So you're making sure as a defensive lineman that you take him to the ground. It's a tough call, and I think it's good, strong, aggressive play out of our guy. And the fact that they called it, I can't criticize the call because I don't know exactly what we see, but that's what he told me. He said he should have let him down a little bit easier. Didn't have to slam him.
Would you rather your
tough
players
call.
be aggressive like that? Because those were both really tough. Could have gone either way. Doesn't seem like you're mad at your guy. I mean, they made plays. It seems like you'd rather have your defense be aggressive like that.
Absolutely, and as I said, that quarterback had escaped our grasp a couple times. So Will was making sure he got him to the ground, and aggressive plays like that, I think you've got to be willing to live with as a coach and as a defensive player. Stupid penalties we're not going to accept. I didn't think either one of those were stupid penalties. I thought they were aggressive penalties that we happen to get called penalties for, and it is what it is. But I want our guys playing hard on defense. That's the only way to play on defense. Now, you didn't see us hit anybody out of bounds or get late hits on people. Nothing foolish like that. I thought we were smart. We were poised. We just happen to not be on the right side of the call in that situation.
At Northwood, coach talked to him after the game. He said this was the best team he's seen of you guys. What does that mean to you to hear from an opposing coach? He said it was by far the best SVSU team he's seen.
Well, I've got a lot of respect for Coach Sullivan, and we appreciate that comment, absolutely. And I think we have the potential to be one of the best teams. But every single week you have to play like it, and the challenge is going to be great every single week. Today we got behind a little bit on turnovers. We didn't follow the script. We had followed the last 2 weeks, and it hurt us a little bit, and it put us in a situation where we had to come from behind. But I like the character of our team, and I think we're playing hard, and our guys are really starting to gel.
And I asked the kids this, but what does the X mean to you? I think you've only lost one out of the one game. This is 3 in a row here. But so what does this mean to you to this program?
Well, I'll tell you, this is how much it means, and this guy, I think, puts it all in a perspective. That one that we didn't win still hurts.